Yo, what's poppin' everybody? This is Sabro54. Gonna show you guys an Inteleon VMAX deck today in the expanded format. Believe it or not, this is a card that I had a very keen interest in using when I first reviewed it basically in Rebel Clash, but specifically for the expanded format. I just thought, hey, you know what? Max Bullet, strong, straightforward attack. You just run it with aqua patches, and originally I wanted to use Max Elixir back then, but right now we have Melanie, so it's even better. And just combine it with these cards, a little bit of disruption, a little bit of a bonus damage with some tools, and you basically have a deck. No deep strategy. Sometimes I like my energy acceleration, Dynamotor decks and what have you, but just using a straightforward, consistent Pokemon that's just going to dish out a lot of damage can be pretty fun as well. Now, this card, of course, did see some successful play here and there in Standard and Expanded. In the beginning, people used it with Frostmoth, just put the water energies and dish out high damage. And then I guess it's more recent, the more recent way to use it in Standard would be to pair it up with the mini Inteleon Frog line. And you use, once again, the Melanie, powered it up, and you essentially have a different deck that's very similar to how the Jolteon deck works, the frogs, and then you do damage on the active Pokemon and you snipe. But Inteleon will be water type and you would do more damage in the active, less damage on the bench. But Jolteon, which is more popular, it would have the advantage against it anyway if you would use it. You would use this in standard. People would use Jolteon. You'd have the disadvantage due to typing. And Jolteon, which is faster, also has free retreat. More consistent deck. But anyway, we're not going to use it like that and expand it anyway. No mini frogs, just a lot of energy acceleration cards through trainers like Aqua Patch, Melanie, a few tools to boost our damage, some disruption cards, and just the only Pokemon that evolves is going to be this guy. The rest is just going to be basic. A very consistent deck. Now, this guy, the appeal to it, I guess, people wanting to use this card is for Max Bullet, 160 damage on the active and then 60 damage to an opponent's bench Pokemon. Darkrai, Umbreon Darkrai Tag Team GX did 150 and then it could do 60 to a GX or EX. This is even stronger. You're going to do 160 on the active, so 10 more and then 60 to any Pokemon. So it's very respectable damage. It's nothing too spectacular, it's just 220 total, but it's enough to really put the pressure on your opponent if you can power up this Pokemon and just start dishing out damage super quick. A Hydro Snipe is also going to pair up nicely with the strategy of overwhelming the opponent because it does a respectable 60 for 1 and it's going to always disrupt the opponent to put an energy on the opponent's active Pokemon to their hand. So just really nice, just really sort of messing with your opponent and just causing them problems, just being a nuisance to them. VMAXs are kind of more risky to use now. V-Stars kind of outclass them, but this guy's a VMAX, 320. It's at least respectable. 2 retreat is kind of standard. Lightning weakness can be problematic, especially in expanded, but this is what we have to go by. So just 2 of this guy, the main attacker, but I'm also going to throw in the other Inteleon VMAX, the Rapid Strike 1. Because of Double Gunner, this is going to give us a little bit of extra damage too, put some pressure. Discard a water energy from your hand, and then you put basically 2 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Now, we do want to discard energies, water energies anyway, so we can make our Aqua Patch and Melanie alive. So might as well run it, extra damage, just synergy, evolves from the same Pokemon. Why not? Gmax Spire, you probably don't want to use this attack, but I guess maybe it'll come up, but you probably don't want to utilize it when we can do more damage, and basically when we can do just more damage. Just doing 220 as opposed to just doing 140 and then just putting an energy in the hand. That's not what we want to do. But anyway, an additional Pokemon for the Double Gunner. The basic line is going to be 4 Inteleon Vs. I do 3 of the original one from Rebel Clash. This one is just much better, I would say, because of Snipe Shot. If you open with this Pokemon, you can start just dishing out respectable damage immediately. And this is also a Snipe too, which is awesome. You don't want to do aqua report. 130, your opponent reveals their hand. That's whatever. And then I do one of these single strike one just because it's all I got, to be honest. But I guess this one has a better second attack. You do 120 and then 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it's 140 damage. I guess this one is going to do 10 less and then you see your opponent's hand. I mean, it's whatever. Being Rapid Strike can be good, can be bad, depending on what your opponent is using too. You could like take advantage of the Rapid Strike Stadium or something if you play against a Rapid Strike deck. But I mean, for the most part, these guys are just here to evolve into the VMAXs. But we do 4 and 3, kind of standard, trying to be consistent. And then the rest of the Pokemon are essentially going to be support and can function as additional attackers too because of Aqua Patch being awesome. Okay, so the only other attacking V, it's going to be this Suicune V. Might as well run this card, just really good. Starting with this card, it means that you can draw free cards with its ability, so that's nice. And it's just a very respectable and cheap attacker. Blizzard Rondo, 20 damage and then 20 more for each bench Pokemon. Just easy to power up, can dish out high damage. Just a regular V, so it's pretty good. There's no double V in this deck because it's not compatible with Aqua Patch. You could use Melanie and just try and power it up that way, but I just thought to myself, you know what? I just want to make this deck as consistent as possible. Double V isn't that needed when we can dish out enough high damage with this guy from the start. So Suicune V makes more sense. Plus, it has a nice ability. And then we got the Volcanion Prism. You got to run this card in this deck 100%. Not only it's Prism Pokemon, 160 HP basic, as good as it's going to get. Jet Geyser just has natural perfect synergy with this deck. Disruption and a discard outlet for water energies. So it's just perfect. Plus, it's just a great Pokemon to just power up with Aqua Patch once again. And you can do respectable 100 for 3, do 20 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon. It's just a great card to have against decks wall Pokemon that are going to be immune to VMAXs and stuff like this Eye-to-Eye, just in case that comes up. Altaria, and whatever the hell else that's going to block us from attacking, essentially. Just a good basic Pokemon. Gotta run it. Then I also do the old school Plasma Kyurem. I wanted to have another Pokemon in addition to Volcanion, and this just makes a lot of sense. I thought of using Kyogre, to be honest, too. It's just essentially better than this dude, but it's weak to grass, and if I am going to have these guys be techs against the Eye, I can't have them being weak to grass. So just went with the Team Plasma Kyurem. Metal weakness, probably better. And that's about it. I mean, it basically has, Kyogre has a better first attack. Then you can choose 2 bench Pokemon if you want. This guy, you got to do the active. And then its Blizzard Burn does 10 more damage. So it's essentially better, but it's weak to grass. Anywho, you have a lot of different options if you don't want to use this card. Okay. And then the other Pokemon that's not really going to be an attacker, but just a free retreating pivot is Pheromosa. Have this as opposed to something like Tapu Koko because I guess you can do 20 for 1. So maybe if I open with it, I can just do some damage to it. You never know. It's a grass Pokemon. Different coverage. I just want to have a free returner pivot. This is the best Pokemon that I have. Okay. And then everybody else is support. You have the Manaphy, which is here for Wave Veil. Just bench protection, but because it's a water Pokemon, I guess it could be better than Mew. I can also search it out more effectively with Dive Ball. So I just went with this dude as opposed to Mew, and it's compatible with Rough Seas as well. So it makes sense to me. And then Tapu Lele GX, Wonder Tag, you guys know how it is. Just get me a supporter. And that's about it. I suppose we could attack, but not really. Because you can't use Aqua Patch and you can't use Melanie either. But I guess if you do put 2 manual attachments, it can attack. But it's here for Wonder Tag. Okay. And Pokemon that I did not want to include. What was the Pokemon that I wanted to mention? Oh, right. the big Manaphy, Manaphy X. So I would like to have that sort of a Dark Cloak free retreat for water, since you can with Manaphy X, but it just has such low HP. It's not even worth it. I mean, Darkrai 180 isn't the greatest, but it's not as bad as 130 or 110, whatever Manaphy has. So no Manaphy EX. Okay, and then the rest of the cards is just going to be lots of trainers basically. We do our double Capacious Bucket and Professor Letter, just one of each, but you can do two of either. They do the same thing in this deck. Just grab two basic energy cards, water in this case, only water, and it's just a very good plussing. We discard them with quick Ball and other discard outlets, set them up in the discard pile for Aqua Patch and Melanie, and just reap more benefits essentially. That's it. So this is how this deck is gonna roll. I do double Dive Ball as well. You'd think that I would max this out, but we max out Quick Ball because it's a discard outlet, plus it just can grab Tapu Lele too, so it's like I have 5 supporters extra in a way. But Dive Ball is still really good. It's going to search out almost everything in this deck. And that's basically it. Nothing else to add. We do double switch. Nice, free switching. These guys have big retreat. You never know if you want to switch them. This guy's big. This guy's big. Just basically everybody, essentially. And yeah, double switch. Some standard techs like the Trainer's Mail as well and the double Via Seeker. Just great cards for consistency and recovery. Via Seeker is good in this deck, of course, because we can reuse Melanie. So it's additional energy acceleration too, which is nice. And what else? We do one Hypnotoxic Laser and one Muscle Band. This is just to give me more damage, more aggression. I wanted to do like a Fury Belt too, and then you can attach it to Suicune or this guy or Kyurem even, but I don't really know what to take out, to be honest. I'm even just running one Field Blower because there's no space. Normally I would do like 2. I just don't want to take anything out, to be honest. I don't want to take any Pokemon out. I don't want to take out any consistency card. So we run it like that. Muscle Band is just great because it's going to give us additional damage. And this guy, because it's a VMAX, it means that he's usually going to take a hit. So if you can attack at least twice, then you're really dishing out high damage with Muscle Band. You can do Choice Build, of course, now that the card is around. But Tag Team GXs are still a thing in Expanded, especially the fucking Arceus de Palkia GX. So Muscle Band is just going to hit everybody. It's just more straightforward. And for just 10 less, being so much more flexible, I'd rather have Muscle Band. Alright, and then Hypnotoxic Laser, just another card. Just going to mess with the opponent. Just put pressure on them. Poison. And I can get it out of my hand. Draw more cards with Cynthia, that sort of thing. Alright. And then I think the last thing from the trainers is going to be the A-Spec and the Stadium. A-Spec of choice is Computer Search, Consistency, Discard Outlet, nothing else to add. There isn't really anything else that you can run that's going to be better, except maybe Dowsing Machine if you want to have the recovery effect as opposed to a consistency effect. I'd rather have this, of course. And I mean, yeah, what are you going to do? Scramble Switch? I guess you could, but since you can accelerate energy easily with Aqua Patch and Melanie, there's not really any point. Gold Potion, I guess, but I guess maybe you could do Gold Potion since you have Rough Seas as well. It wouldn't be that bad, but Computer Search, it just serves a lot of roles in this deck. So, 2 roles, I guess. Can discard water energies too. So, that's the point. And then Stadium of Choice, that's easy. It's going to be Rough Seas. No need to do Brooklyn Heal because I have other searching cards. I just rather do 2 Rough Seas. Just pretty good, I guess, if we can resolve a few of those effects with Rough Seas, then the healing is going to start adding up. It basically makes my deck have a good resilience against spread tactics as well, because it's just going to heal everybody. It's just too good. You can do Brook of the Heel if you want. You can do some other cards. You could just essentially just not run ability dudes, or just run this guy, run Garbodor. I thought of doing that as well, but I said, hey, you know what? I want to use abilities, so I didn't use Garbodor. But there's just a lot of ways you can use this dude. Just very straightforward. Okay. Now for the supporters, it's just going to be some standard stuff, but with the exception of maxing out the Melanie in this deck. Attach water energy from the disco pile and draw 3. We're going to try and utilize the supporter as much as we can because it's just going to give us cards, give us draw, and power up this dude quickly. And then we can do max bullet. That's the point. And everything else should be standard. Do triple Professor's Research, heavy duty draw, and it's going to be a discard outlet as well. The 1N and only 1 Cynthia because I'm running 4 Melanies too. Gotta have the chorus, of course. Gotta have the boss's orders to win games. And basically that's it. And the Skylar too, as always. Can be very useful. Letting me grab like an aqua patch. Letting me grab a stadium. A laser. Muscle band. You never know. A switch. Never know. Okay. And then the last thing is just going to be 12 water energies. Enough for us to see them, attach them, have enough to discard as well to gain our effects. You know, get this bonus damage through an effect and get some one-sided escape rope on our opponent. Disruption. Good stuff. And this is basically the deck. I would say it's a nice little beginner deck. It's all about consistency and just dishing out damage. There isn't really any deep combos and things you want to do. Just very straightforward. I like using decks like these sometimes. Before I used Glaceon GX. That's right, the Stage 1 Glaceon GX. And it basically worked kind of like this dude. Only you do less damage and have a little bit of defense. That's it. Wall in. So, yeah, Inteleon VMAX. Looking forward to show you guys matches with it. So, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys on the matches 100%. Sabro 94, Wasai!